The check's in the mail for that wonderful intro. Well, welcome everybody. Let's give a round of applause to Dan, the entire team that set up this wonderful conference, and all the sponsors, please. So this presentation, I've been looking forward to it since we did it last year, to be honest, because it's a great, capital, awesome topic in fintech that we care a lot about. And it's a time to really showcase what we are here. And I'm going to showcase the Carolina Fintech Hub for you. I'm going to tell you why it's something you really need to know about and what's happening in the Carolina region. But rather than just tell you about it, we thought the coolest thing we could possibly do is start by showing you exactly what it is we are and what we do. So we're going to take the first half of our presentation, and we're going to use that time to show you the final minutes of the second annual Carolina Fintech Hub Hackathon. We started over a month ago with over 150 students at 7 universities. We were only at 1 university last year, UNC Charlotte. You can see all the universities that are now part of the second annual. And this is the third round, right now. A round ago, we had whittled it down to the top 14 teams of students in the region with the concepts of personalize your banking experience, Fintech for Good, and with our new InsurTech partners we brought on, AIG and Aflac, insure your favorite thing. And this is going to be a really special event today that you're going to see. They have 3 minutes each. They've already been vetted down as the best of the best. And this is about creating innovation, retaining talent inside our ecosystem in the universities that are here, and showcasing what incredible innovators we have. So I'm going to make the premise, which was the premise of the speaker before us, Greenlight, that Charlotte is not full of 50-year-old white people, and that's not all we do. And I'm glad he teed it up that way, because there's something special happening here you need to take notice of. So a special thanks to all the volunteers and the final round judges. The judges are going to be in the back of the room, and when these teams compete today, right now, they're going to be rating them. I'm going to get up and say a few words after they're done. They're going to tabulate it, and we're going to award the #1 team a $10,000 check and a mortal standing in the world of the Carolina Fintech Hub. So with that, I want to invite up to this, the stage Jiten, a great partner, one of our new anchor partners from Cognizant, who's joined the Carolina Fintech Hub. But we wanted him to say a couple words before we bring the students up, because they jumped in on the ground floor a couple months ago and said, we want to be part of this hackathon in a more significant way. So they've given a significant amount of additional prizes to the students in AWS credits. They've put together a gift bag that looks pretty legit for these top 3 finalists. So in addition to these big checks we're handing out, I want to invite up our partner to say a couple words.
All right, good afternoon, guys. I'm Cognizant is a proud sponsor of this hackathon, and I personally am very excited to be here. This is our first year, as Tarek said, for our partnership with QC Fintech and Carolina Fintech. We've seen hackathons as a very effective mechanism for organizations to break through inertia, as well as instill a culture of innovation. So for the 3 teams that have made it this far, I think you guys are winners in your own accord. So on behalf of Cognizant, we have a small token of appreciation for all the efforts that you guys have put in. And all that I'll say is keep innovating. Right? Thank you, guys.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Okay, without further ado, the judges are going to be judging. The teams have 3 minutes. We've been working with them for a while, so they know when I walk up to the stage, there's 30 seconds left, and at the 3-minute mark, no matter where they are, they're done. So the judges are going to be judging, but let the judges know through the level of your applause what the crowd favorite is. And with that, let's invite and welcome the first team to the stage from UNC Charlotte, the Data Spartans. Green is go.
Just going to test it out. All right. So, good afternoon, everyone. I am Nishandar, and I'll be representing Data Spartans in this hackathon. So, I just want to share one of the experience. Last week, I had called my bank to register a complaint, and believe me, it took me 15 minutes to just register my complaint. Well, definitely, that's very frustrating. And I know each and everyone has been in that situation, right? So what I feel is, lack of speed and interaction with the customers is one of the pain points of the customers. And according to according to Group, 82% of the customers leave the bank because of such bad experiences, and that can cause huge loss, like $62 million of loss per year. That's really huge. So we thought that why is this loss? We need to tackle this problem. So we said that, okay, what if we can actually text our problem to the customer, to the bank, because that is a pretty convenient way. And according to Informat and Forbes, nowadays, texting is a really preferred method of communicating. It's really fast and reliable as well. So the product which we have developed is based on this motivation that, all the problems that we face. So this is the area of improvement that we feel. We want to improve in customer retention and satisfaction, and also make sure the customer gets its complaint heard early and fast. So we have developed a system that can actually, classify the problem. So we're collecting data from multiple sources like text messaging and social media. We convert that into text, and we have a model that can classify these problems. So first, we understand whether a given complaint is actually a complaint, or is it an FAQ, or is it just feedback. So if it's a complaint, we classify that particular complaint based on department. So whether this particular complaint belongs to customer care, credit card, or debt, or mortgage, and so on. And doing that, we also make sure that the customer gets a ticket number for the same, so that the customer can check whether the status of the complaint has been resolved or not. Along with that, we also present a performance analysis dashboard for the bank. So using this particular dashboard, the customer can ensure that the bank can ensure that what's the process of the customer service in particular bank. Now, definitely this is what we have built, but there needs to be benefits both for the customer and the bank. So I'll be dividing my benefits in two sections. So for the customer, it is more convenient for me for texting the complaint rather than calling them up. And this will definitely save time for customers. On the bank side, since we are actually replacing the complaint takers module, we are investing more in complaint solvers. This is what we are looking at, and this particular product can be leveraged by mid-sized and large-sized industries, and it is also customizable in different data privacy standards like GDPR and CCPA. So, yeah, I rest my case.
Wonderful. Let's hear it. Okay, thank you. Team number 2 hails from the University of North Carolina, Charlotte as well. 2 from that university. Please welcome to the stage team number 2, Team WADS.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Jonathan Byrne. Today I'm going to be introducing you to WADS, the first cryptocurrency payment gateway that allows our users to exchange their digital assets for a single-use virtual credit card. So to give everyone some background, the cryptocurrency market is currently valued at $200 billion, with about 40 million active cryptocurrency owners. Ethereum, which is the second largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, does about $2 billion in transaction volume every day. Yet only 3 out of the top 500 online retailers accept cryptocurrency for payment. So as you can probably see, there's a big divide right now between cryptocurrency owners that want to pay for goods and services online with their digital assets, and merchants who are only willing to accept USD. So this is why we're developing WADS. And the way it works is the customer will first send their Ethereum into our smart contract. Once we verify that we received payment, we will then issue them a virtual credit card in that exact amount that they're asking for. They can then use this virtual credit card to the merchant like normal, and then once the merchant, verifies that they've received payment, we'll fulfill the customer's order. On the back end, we will handle that crypto payment that we just received, and the merchant will, it's basically the same thing that they always do, they just accept the credit card. So WADS expects to generate money in 2 ways. First, on the cash back offered by these virtual credit cards, and secondly, on the small user fee. When we verify that we've received payment into our smart contract, we will instantly sell that crypto back out to an exchange where we will incur a small taker fee of about 0.25%. But in total, we expect we can net profit anywhere between 2% and 5% per transaction. So over the course of this hackathon, we were able to build and launch our website, both for desktop and mobile. We also built a fully functioning smart contract that we tested on the Ethereum virtual machine, as well as build a Google Chrome proof of concept. That Google Chrome extension will be able to allow our users to conveniently exchange their cryptocurrency at checkout for any online retailer. We plan to launch that Google Chrome extension first quarter of 2019. So we ran through a couple different marketing scenarios, and our goal for the end of next year is to have 10,000 users with about 50,000 transactions through our service. We expect that can generate us $100,000 in net profit by the end of the year. We will also offer the first blockchain-based chargeback service, as well as being fully PCI compliant. We also expect to conform to all user data privacy laws, including but not limited to GDPR and CCPA. Compared to other alternatives on the market, which quite frankly are not that great right now, our faster, cheaper, and more convenient service will be the go-to solution for this growing $200 billion cryptocurrency market. Thank you for your time, and please check out our website at waz.io.
With 10 seconds to spare, ladies and gentlemen, now it's drawn. All right, and then our final finalist, hailing from Davidson. Every day is a good day to be a Wildcat, I've heard. Please welcome to the stage, Team Millenniaires.
Hi everyone, I'm Matthew Davis, the team from Davidson College, and I am proud to present you with Millenniaires, an app that digitizes the social investment club. So young people want to invest, we do, I swear. But a lot of times it can be written off as complicated or sometimes kind of confusing. So we thought that we could reframe investment in terms of the social media and the games that dominate the marketplace today to create something that young people actually understand. So we thought to basically make this a digitized investment club to create this shared investing experience that no one else has done before. Think like Facebook meets Robinhood meets Candy Crush. So we want to tap into those reward loops that underlie those apps and essentially create an app that people, we want to create an app that reduces risk, that rewards smart decision making, and actually simplifies the concept of investing. So I can tell you about that a lot, but let me show you what we did actually. So these three screens are from actual products that we built for Android and iOS. In the center screen here, friends can pool their resources to diversify their portfolio and actually make the investing safer, because not many of us actually have many resources available. We also, from this page, we can also propose a trading decision, discuss that trading decision, and vote on it, and thereby share the rewards that come from investing together. We then further look to reward this smart investing with the gamification that I mentioned earlier. We have badges and scores that reflect the user's performance, their activity, and their actual well thought out decision making. And so people are really excited about this here at Davidson. And we look to leverage that excitement and bring it to other schools with social media, with our social media presence. And use that gamification that I mentioned earlier to actually create to build our user base and actually expand that user base as well. So we have to keep Millenniaires accessible to people like us. That's an important part. So we're going to have to charge a commission fee with each trade. That commission fee will be dispersed among all the members of the group, however. So it'll be a fraction of the cost that they would pay with another service. Additionally, we do not want to sell user data. Instead, we want to use that data to improve the product that we have and actually make investing easier for people like us. Because so many times, investing can be incredibly complicated. You can help us make that change with Millenniaires today. Thank you.
Okay, so while the judges are judging, just real quick, let's hear another round of applause for each team. Ready? Team 1, who liked Team 1? Team 2, Team 3. All right, judges, you've got your work cut out. While they are doing the highly sophisticated approach and model and algorithm to judging that we've concocted, I will spend a couple minutes now explaining to you all why not only is Charlotte in the Carolina region not just filled with 50-year-old white dudes, but also why this is a place where it may not be on your radar before today if you're from out of town, but it should be because of the innovation that exists here and the venture capital that should exist here beyond where it is today. So I'm just going to talk to you briefly while they're tabulating around 3 major elements that I want you to know. One, real quick, my view on the current and historical state of innovation globally, right? And this is in the fintech realm. Real simply put, and this is from my own perspective, in 1804, Alexander Hamilton was shot by Aaron Burr. Everyone knows that now that plays out, right? You've all learned that. They had to start wrapping history until I really started paying attention. But many might argue the founder of the financial ecosystem in this country and world in a lot of cases, we know it today, at that point, banking hasn't changed a lot since then. Over the last 10 years, however, we've seen a lot of innovation, but maybe the disruption isn't exactly where a lot of people are trying to claim it is today. I think we're in the very beginning of that disruption. And to be quite honest, what I see are a couple things. I see companies out there, startups, fintechs, coming out trying to disrupt the world, disrupt the incumbents, go straight to the consumers, and they're at it alone. There's now thousands of them every single day popping up. It's a really uphill battle. And now some folks are seeing in the incumbent world, I need to partner. All right, but now in partnership, we're seeing, I'm an individual bank or entity, and I'm going to come out here and spearfish for 1 or 2 guys I think are doing it. And it's a really challenging environment globally because that is not something that can scale. It's still very adversarial in nature. And for the banks out there doing this and the startups that are doing it, I think there's a big element of fear involved. The banks particularly, they fear this disruption trend, whether they say so or not, because they don't want in 10 years from now to be left behind. So when you approach this in fear, though, on the macro, it's not a good thing. The startups have fear, too. They're afraid that they're not going to get the bank deal and become relevant. And then those of them that actually get it, they start fearing a different thing. The bank is going to crush me with their vendor risk management programs, and I'm just going to be, inked out of existence. So there's this element of kind of everyone's in a silo, and that's where it's been. So that's the current state of innovation globally in fintech. The second topic is the current state and historical state of venture capital in fintech, and I'm going to say in Charlotte. And really what I've observed, and you guys have forgotten more about VC than I've ever learned, but from the innovation side, I'll tell you my perspective. I see 3 types of VCs and investors and capital folks that are involved in Charlotte historically. One is the local hobbyist. These are folks that really enjoy it. They're involved in clubs. They're at the angel level. They're at the seed level, and they're kind of dispersing it out. The problem there is they're not getting a lot of great return, and there's not a sustainable source of capital for those angel seed level folks that are out there in need of it. The second group is the local bigger shops, institutional folks. You see from a family smaller level up to some big players. In my opinion, while this is a broad brush, a lot of them sit here and open up shop here and work here because it's a wonderful place to live. Quality of life is high. Cost of living is low. But what they do is, aside from maybe a few stories you see in the news, they're looking globally elsewhere. They're out there investing in Valley, Chicago, New York, London, Austin, places like that. And then finally, there's the big institutional type VC shops that are outside of Charlotte in the Carolina region. And while they're doing the same thing elsewhere, they're looking inside and spearfishing. They're spearfishing into the Charlotte market when they see something that pops out. And guess what? All of that is okay because we have this argument all the time in Charlotte. We need more capital here. I'm a firm believer that capital follows deal flow. And when the deal flow warrants it, that is when we're going to be in a spot where we're going to see it. And I believe that's today. The Carolina Fintech Hub, the final proposition is the future state of both innovation and VC in Charlotte and the Carolina region. The Carolina Fintech Hub is a joint venture, a nonprofit amongst the banks. You saw some of them listed and companies listed on the slide before this. There's another half dozen that aren't listed right there. And we've come together with a mission of making the Carolina region a global fintech destination. But the real magic in what we're doing, and it goes back to that first trend I told you, is it's a collaboration of competitors. Those entities are all coming together for economies of scale to make this region a destination and to get the valuable inputs from that themselves. So we do that through really two areas, talent and innovation. On the talent side, I'll just hit on it briefly, Fintech U, our hackathon. I don't need to say much more about that. Many of you who look at pitches like we do every single day might say those were pretty good incubation pitches, for some kind of entry-level accelerator, just pre-revenue. Those were college students. They stopped drinking beer and watching football for a month to put that together, and they're better than probably half the incubation pitches I see. So if you're wondering where our talent pipeline in the Quay, let's hear that. If you're wondering where our talent pipeline is going, the university level and the connection of the region and enticing them to stay in our market instead of going to those others is strong and getting stronger. Also, WIN, a new thing we're doing, Workforce Investment Network. I can't give this justice by giving you a soundbite, but let's just say we need to do well for our entities, for our companies, for our industry, while doing good for our community. And upward mobility is a challenge everywhere, but in Charlotte and the Carolina region, none more so. And what we're doing is we're taking folks that have the soft skills and the aptitude, but maybe not the background, maybe not the 4-year degree or the hard coding language, and we're training them in 6-month cohorts and handing them jobs if they fit the criteria to go into our banks, to go into our fintech companies and change their lives. And that is going to make a huge difference, not just for the talent and what we need, because that's the selfish prop that makes this sustainable. It's going to make our community, our region better, and we're going to be doing something that's sustainable to make that happen. And then finally, innovation, and this is where I'm going to leave you here. Innovation is the other side of the coin. Not what we're doing to make sure that the talent is there, but what are we doing to make sure the IP and the company ideas and the startups flourish here? Dan Roselli has been on an island in Charlotte for 9 cohorts now, running QC Fintech. And it's just been floating out there on his own. He put it on his shoulders. A lot of other people chipped in and helped. But we're lucky to have that today. But there's a flaw in that, right? Because you can only do so well when you're out there attracting mostly pre-revenue companies at that level. And where's the ramp? Where's the roadmap of where you go after that? So we've decided in the Fintech Hub to partner even closer with Dan. And now we are their primary source of funding going forward to make sure we don't lose that great program. It's sustainable and can grow. But what's even more exciting than that is we're building onto the ecosystem afterwards. We're building a growth stage accelerator and a ready stage accelerator where they are entirely focused on deals. It's a deal-based program. We're not saying, hey, here's how you build a pro forma, here's how you pitch for capital. We're looking for game-changing deals. And at the growth level, we're looking to identify that in companies that just about are ready, but maybe there's something enterprise grade not quite there. Maybe they won't pass a vendor risk management process. Maybe there's a regulatory challenge they need to have. Maybe they could pivot a little bit in what they're doing and even have a higher ceiling. And on the ready stage, that you don't need any of that. You're good to go. We're just making deals, but we're building a digital community that enhances the current digital community we have, where we actually network inside all of our anchor partners and find the right decision makers and product owners who can make a deal. And then we start talking to them and we curate down to the best list you can imagine of the best talent globally and say, they're coming to Charlotte and will you make a deal? And then we shepherd it through. So it's not just those programs, because now Dan's going to benefit that in incubation. Because now companies who maybe said, you know what, I don't need to necessarily come, well, they get to see their steps to go beyond that. And more importantly even, supporting programs that are around it. You saw talent. When we give them the game-changing deal, the first thing they're going to need to do is scale. And they're going to need talent to scale. We have that. Public policy. Not only, I sit on city council as well, not only do we have legislation that's supposed to go through the General Assembly, similar to Arizona, to create a fintech sandbox, a more business startup-friendly environment for fintech startups. For the first time ever, a city in this entire nation and a chamber of commerce have fintech on the legislative agenda. Those are things that move the needle. And then finally, capital. Back where I started. Right now, you heard my current state of capital. You may agree or disagree. But what I will tell you is you need to take note of the future state of capital in Charlotte and the Carolina region. If you've always thought spearfishing or looking outward was the model here, I would say we're going to leave you behind. I would challenge you, if you hear from VC companies, to start thinking about this is where I'm going to get ahead of some of the players that have watch lists like JPMC or Morgan Stanley who are looking for the companies that are going to pop. And we all know the companies that are going to pop. What are the ecosystems that are going to pop? Where is not spearfishing happening, but casting a net locally and being the first in that pipeline and in that effort? So my challenge to you is a collaboration of competitors. What you've seen, if it impressed you on the college level, imagine where it goes from there. So please think about joining us and setting up shop, being a more relevant role inside the Carolina region and Charlotte from a capital perspective. And if you're from a business fintech side, incumbent bank side, and you're not part of our organization and coalition, don't get left behind. You should join us. So with that being said, I talked long enough for them to come up with a winner. Can we get the teams up here? While they're walking up, real quick, anyone who's been associated with or a member, board member, operating committee member, workstream member of the Carolina Fintech Hub, will you guys stand up for a second? Because while I am the loud and never without something to say mouthpiece, what really happens is around. Red, thanks, Tom, Matt, all you guys, appreciate you so much. Let's give them a round of applause, because this is how it happens. Okay. Did I forget anything, Patrick? Keep talking. Good. All right. So, one more round of applause for all these folks, please. You're all winners, but not necessarily from a financial perspective, unfortunately. So, the second and third place teams are going to get $2,500 each. So let's give them an applause, because I can't say second and third because you'll know who first is. So whoever's second and third, you still won. But unfortunately, there can only be one, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure I'm going to read the right one. We don't want one of those, what was that event that happened? Yeah, no, it's not Steve Harvey. So, number one, circle squared. Patrick, it's squared right here. Got it? Let's hear it for Team Wads. Come forward, guys. Team Wads. That's it. Come on up. Team Wads, take a bow, ladies and gentlemen. There's that package right there. Wonderful. All right. And everybody else, there's your packages. We can't tell you how proud we are of all of you. That was incredible. That was crushed. Finally, to wrap it up, I hope this was exciting for you, because this is the level of excitement that we operate on a daily basis. We appreciate you being here in the Queen City, in the Carolina region, being part of this wonderful event that's just going to grow under Dan and so many others' leadership. And from the bottom of the heart of the Carolina Fintech Hub, enjoy yourself, come back often, and thank you.